Knowing whether you should save your money first or pay off your debt first is actually a very important thing to know in the very beginning of your financial journey. This is because it's especially important to know how to allocate your money correctly, since it allows you to either grow your finances at a very rapid rate or stay stagnant without really achieving much throughout the most important years of your life. Now, I want to let you guys know that in this video, I'm going to be talking about my opinions about these two topics throughout my financial journey so far. Now, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is what I think about paying off debt first before saving. The second thing I'm going to be talking about is what I think about saving first before paying off your debt. And lastly, I'm going to put these two topics side by side and compare them to let you know what I'm going to be doing with my future. Hi guys, my name is Dennis, and in this channel I talk about personal finance as well as my continuous journey to financial freedom. So before we get started, if you guys haven't watched any of my previous videos before, I'm gonna start off by telling you a little bit more about my background. My wife and I recently got married in June of 2021, and we moved in together right away. The first thing we did as a married couple is we combined our bank accounts into one single account. But here's the thing guys, since we combined our bank accounts into one single account, this meant that we also needed to combine our debts together. We did this since our debt is gonna come out of one bank account anyways throughout the next few years. Soon after we got married, we both graduated from college, and in the following 7 months, we ended up paying all of our high interest private student loan debt completely without a single penny remaining. This brings us to today, where my wife and I still have a remaining balance of around $82,000 of federal student loans that we still need to pay off. Now that you're all caught up about my past, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is what I think about paying off debt first before saving. Now let me tell you guys that I was absolutely obsessed with the thought of being debt-free in the very beginning years of my college. Before I got married and graduated college, I had the Dave Ramsey mentality of paying off all of my debt right away as soon as possible so that I can start saving and investing when that is done. I had this type of a mentality because I knew exactly how bad debt can get in the long term if you ignore it and don't do anything about it. I thought that paying off all of my debt right away will give me the flexibility and the freedom to start saving and investing more of my money later on. This mentality lasted me for a very long time while I was still in school, because I thought that every single penny that accrued in my student loans is another penny that is going to be dragging down my net worth. While I was still in college, I was subscribed to Dave Ramsey's baby steps that he created for his viewers. Now, if you guys don't know what the baby steps are, I'll give you a quick summary right now. Dave Ramsey's baby steps is a list of 7 steps that he thinks will bring anyone from debt to wealth in a short amount of time if done correctly. I'm going to put a screenshot of these baby steps right here on the screen for you guys to see them. Baby step number 1 says that you should have saved $1,000 for a just-in-case emergency. Baby step number 2 says that you have to pay all of your debt off except for the house using the debt snowball method. Then in baby step number 3, you have the opportunity to start saving a 3 to 6 months fully funded emergency fund. After you finish funding your emergency fund, baby step number 4 says that you have to start investing 15% of your income into your retirement. I feel like this step is a continuous step because you're going to be saving 15% of your income towards retirement until you retire. Moving on to step number 5, you have to start saving for your kids' college funds. And after you funded your kids' college, baby step number 6 says that you have to start paying off your home. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this step is going to take a while to do depending on your mortgage. But ultimately, this brings us to baby step number 7, where you have to build wealth and start giving. Now, as you guys can see, baby steps number 1 through 3 clearly prioritize paying off your debt first before investing for an emergency fund. This meant that we can clearly tell where Dave Ramsey's thoughts are in this debate. After following Dave Ramsey's first baby step, I had $1,000 saved up while I was still in college. And like I mentioned in the very beginning of this video, after getting married and combining our debts, my wife and I ended up paying all of our high-interest private student loan debt within 7 months, which is the very beginning stage of baby step number 2. We managed to pay off all $33,200 worth of high-interest private student loan debt within 7 months of us first living together, which was crazy for us because this was the very first time where both her and I are living away from our parents, and the change was very new to us. Instead of the debt snowball method that Dave Ramsey recommended, we ended up going with the debt avalanche method, where we ended up paying all of our high interest loans first. This meant that we wanted to get rid of these loans as soon as possible and not pay interest of 6.7% 8.6%, and 10.5% that we had in our high interest private student loans. And like I mentioned before, as of now, this leaves us with around $82,000 worth of federal student loan debt that we still have to pay off. As you guys can clearly see, these baby steps were guiding my thought process throughout my college years, as well as the first few months of my wife and I getting married. This leads us to the second thing I want to talk about, which is what I think about saving before paying off your debt. I think that saving money is always an important characteristic for every person to have. Throughout my childhood years, I grew up with this mindset because I've always seen my parents struggle to keep up with their bills and live paycheck to paycheck. I saw them worry to miss any day of work because they knew that if they miss a few days of work, they'll be behind on their bills. This is the main reason why I'm so interested in personal finance and why I strive every day to achieve financial freedom for my family. The reason I bring this up because I wanted to let you guys know the dilemma I had between paying off my debt and saving. So back to the story, I was completely set on paying off the rest of my debt like it said in baby step number 2 until something pretty amazing happened. There was an announcement by the government that all federal student loan payments were paused and extended through August 31st of 2022. This means that all 11 accounts of our federal student loan debt, which is totaling around $82,000, were paused with no minimum payments and reduced to a 0% interest rate until August 31st of 2022. This one single announcement completely changed my view on Dave Ramsey's baby steps, since I started doubting whether I should continue paying off my debts or start saving and investing with my money instead. By the way guys, if you're finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to help this video spread out to more people. Thank you. This leads us to the final point of this conversation, where I'm going to compare these 2 points and let you know what I decide to do with my future. Breaking all of this down made me realize one thing, that I'm actually stuck in the middle of this debate. While I wanted to fully pay off my debt initially, I still wanted to invest in myself and create a safety net in the form of an emergency fund for my family. The federal student loan payment pause led me to come to a compromise and meet in the middle between these 2 points. We got very lucky because the biggest chunk of our loan, which is federal student loan debt, has been reduced to a 0% interest until August 31st. I decided that the fact that we paid off our private student loan debt is good enough for now in baby step number 2. Because of this fact, we decided back in January to slow down with our debt payments and actually start saving for our emergency fund. From January this year till about a month from now, we were able to fund a full 3-month emergency fund for our family. So as of right now, we have a safety net of around $11,000, which covers around 3 months of our expenses. Now, the first thing that I want to mention that I still agree with Dave Ramsey's baby steps completely. All 7 of these baby steps need to be completed in one way or another to successfully build wealth over time. But I decided to switch these steps around a little bit to fit my current circumstances. Initially, after saving for my emergency fund, I was gonna go back to baby step number 2 and continue paying off my debt. But since the 0% federal student loan payments are still paused, I decided to take a different route. Now, like I mentioned many times in this channel before, I think that it's very important to invest in yourself when you deem necessary. And let me tell you guys, I've been wanting to open up this YouTube channel about personal finance for a very, very long time. I always wanted to share my financial experiences as well as my continuous journey to financial freedom with you guys so that we can both go on this journey together. But unfortunately, I was never able to put enough time or money into this YouTube channel the way I wanted to, but that's until now. I decided that it was important to invest in myself by putting in my money in a few side hustles as well as this YouTube channel so that I can share my journey to financial freedom. I feel that saving my money and investing in this YouTube channel right now will bring me much more benefit in the short term than paying off all of my debts. But that could be just me, so I want to hear from you guys now. Let me know in the comments down below what you're gonna do with your finances in the next few years. Making all of these important decisions is the reason why I created another video where I talk about investing versus paying off debt first. You can check out this video right here. You can also click this video right here where I talk about exactly how much you need to have saved for your emergency fund. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great day.